Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Remember, we have been learning Chapter 3 Water Resources in India. In the previous days, we discussed about causes of water scarcity, and we also have started discussion on conservation and management of water resources in India. Today, as a part of water conservation technique, we shall learn about rainwater harvesting. Now I shall share my screen. Can you see my screen, boys and girls? Do you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start. Rainwater harvesting is one of the easiest method of water conservation and management technique. Can you tell me what do you mean by rainwater harvesting? What is rainwater harvesting? Yes, anybody? Okay, let me tell you. As the name indicates, rainwater harvesting refers to collection and the storing of rainwater. Okay, so this is the simplest meaning, collection and the storing of rainwater. Okay, for use for different purposes. So in the previous lesson, we also have discussed about the disadvantages and resistances rising against the multipurpose projects. Okay, last time we talked about multipurpose river projects, and this is also one of the methods or techniques of water conservation and management in India. Not only in India, all over the globe. Okay, but from some areas, from some sectors, say resistances from some communities rose against these projects. And why? Because sometimes we find disadvantages of multipurpose projects. Okay, and if we don't select the site properly or wisely, and that is why various objections, okay, are coming from different groups of society. But see, rainwater harvesting, okay, see, this is a viable alternative to the multipurpose projects, because we can do rainwater harvesting in our in household level also. We can do it in our own houses. So it implies that rainwater harvesting is a viable alternative to the multipurpose river valley projects to conserve and manage water. Okay, it may be in small scale or it can be done on the large scale also. We have different methods of rainwater harvesting, which we'll be discussing okay now. And this rainwater harvesting is environment friendly, okay, and socio-economically also viable. So now let us discuss about the different methods of rainwater harvesting in different periods in India and different regions. Okay, so in the ancient India, so in the early days in the ancient India, along with the sophisticated hydraulic structures that we discussed in the previous lesson, there existed an extraordinary tradition of rainwater harvesting system. So during the kingdom period also, rainwater harvesting was a practice. Okay, and not only that, those kings also constructed dams and many other hydraulic structures that we have already discussed. And during those days, that is during the ancient days, people had in-depth knowledge of rainfall regime. That means in which season there will be rainfall, in which month there will be rainfall, or in which month there may not be rainfall. They had in-depth knowledge, and they also had this in-depth knowledge about soil types, and developed wide-ranging technique to harvest rainwater, groundwater, river water, flood water in keeping with local ecological conditions and their water needs. That means ancient people also had in-depth knowledge about the conservation and the management of water in India. Okay, and in the hill and the mountainous regions. Now let us discuss region-wise. Okay, about the different methods of rainwater harvesting. In hill and mountainous regions, people build diversion channels like gulls or cools of the western Himalayas for agriculture. So in the hill and mountainous area, what do people do? So they constructed these diversion channels. So for example, this is the stream, okay, in the mountainous area, and from here we may dig a diversion channel, a small channel, and water is diverted from this river, and the water is provided to the agricultural field. Okay, so this is what we call gul or cool in the western Himalayas. These diversion channels are locally known as guls or cools. Okay, guls or cools in the western Himalayas. So this is one of the methods of rainwater harvesting in western Himalayas. Water is diverted from the this runoff, okay, from the streams, and provided to agricultural field. And next we have this rooftop rainwater harvesting. Was commonly practiced to store drinking water, particularly in Rajasthan. Okay, not only in Rajasthan, in different parts of India, including Meghalaya, then Tamil Nadu. Okay, rainwater harvesting, rooftop rainwater harvesting is practiced, okay, for drinking purpose and for other purposes. So this is about rooftop rainwater harvesting. Okay, and so this is about recharge through the this one is the technique, the recharge of rainwater through the hand pump. Here, when there is rainfall, okay, when there is rainfall, rainwater is collected on the rooftop, and it is carried down through this PVC pipe. And again, here we have a filtration tank containing sand, bricks, and others. Okay, and in some houses in Rajasthan, so we may construct an underground tank here known as tanka, and water can be stored here for immediate use. And the excess water, okay, the excess water can be recharged to the underground through the hand pump. Okay, through the hand pump or tube wells, we can recharge it. So this is one of the methods of rooftop rainwater harvesting. Another method is that, see, recharge through the abandoned duct well. Like before, we have to collect rainwater, okay, on the roof. Then it is carried down. It is collected using PVC pipe. Filtration can be done here, okay. We can keep a filtration tank, and after that, it may be recharged into an abandoned duck well. Okay, the well which is not used now. In that well, the rainwater can be recharged, and it will be going to the underground aquifer. Okay, so these are the two important means of this rooftop rainwater harvesting. In addition to this, we have different other techniques of rainwater harvesting. Okay, we may discuss later on. And in the floodplains of Bengal, people develop inundation channels. Okay, in the floodplains, in the low-lying areas. Floodplain, you know, the plain nearby the rivers. People develop inundation channels to irrigate their fields. Inundation channel, you know, see here. This is a river. Okay, this is a river. Actually, this is a small river, and let us say this is the cross section. Okay, let us say this is the cross section of the river, and here when the river is in flood, means when there is heavy rainfall, the river will be in flood. The level of the water will be rising, and it may be overflowing the embankment also. See here. Here in this case, we are keeping this inundation, different heads of the inundation channels here, small, and water will be overflowing from the this river. And here we have the embankment. Okay, embankment just nearby it. We may keep embankment. Okay, and the water is the overflowing water will be here, and again from here through the inundation canal, water is diverted, and it will be carried to the agricultural field here. For example, this is the agricultural field where the land is dry. So the water from the flooded area, let us say this area is flooded, and this flood water is carried through the inundation canal, and again it is used in other areas. So this is known as inundation canals. Okay, and it is a practice in West Bengal. Then in arid and semi-arid regions, that is in Rajasthan mainly, okay, in desert and semi-desert areas, agricultural fields were converted into rain-fed storage structure that allowed water to stain and moisten the soil, like Cardin in Jaisalmer, then Johats in other part of Rajasthan. So in the semi-arid and the arid regions of Rajasthan, okay, these agricultural fields are converted into rain-fed storage structure, as you'll find here. Say for that we need to, for example, this is the agricultural field, and here we need to construct small bunds. Okay, we need to construct small bunds like this, as you are seeing here. So let us say these are the bunds. Okay, these are the bunds, and when there is rainfall, then rainwater will be stored here in these areas. Okay, here it is surrounded by bunds, as you see here, and the rainwater is stored here, and it will be allowed to stay here for a long time so that it can be absorbed by the soil, and after that we can use it for growing the crops. And this method is known as what? Cardin. Okay, this technique of rainwater harvesting is known as Cardin. So here we have a photograph showing Cardins. Just see here. I think you may be seeing bunds also, and the rainwater is allowed to store or to stain in the agricultural field, thus allowing the water to absorb in the soil, and the water will moisten the soil, and after that we can grow crops. Okay, so this technique of rainwater harvesting in Rajasthan, particularly in Jaisalmer, is known as Cardin. Okay, it's known as Cardin. And another technique is known as Johat. Okay, Johat is this technique, this method is practice, okay, constructed or practiced in other part of Rajasthan. Actually here we have one schematic diagram here. Let's see here. Here say when there is rainfall, then rainwater will be flowing down as a runoff, and it will be running down here. And just nearby it we are constructing a bunch. Okay, so this is a bund or embankment. So this is a bund or embankment, and water is stored here. The rainwater coming as a runoff, okay, coming down as a runoff will be stored here, as you will see here. So this is the cross section. Okay, so rainwater is coming down from here. When there is rainfall, then rainwater is flowing out as a runoff, and it will be stored here. And so here it is a kind of small check dam. Okay, and here this is an embankment with a spillway, and when there is excess water, the excess water will be flowing down the slope, and it will be used in other ways for other purposes. And these johats again, okay, these johats also will allow to absorb the water collected here. It will go underground, it will be absorbed, and thus leaving the soil moisten, or some more water will go down to the underground water aquifer. Okay, to the aquifer also it will be recharged. So this is another method of rainwater harvesting. Okay, so water is stored here, can be used for different purposes, and it is also allowed to absorb in the soil. It may be used for recharging the groundwater, and the excess water here also can be used for different other purposes, as you are seeing here some activities here. Okay, so that for that we must keep one spillway here, one floodgate must be there, or the excess water can be recharged in an abandoned well or used well also, as you see here. So this technique is what we call Johat. It is practiced in Rajasthan and as well as in Haryana also. Okay, just see, this is a photograph showing Johat. Okay, here you may be seeing these bunds also, or a small check dam. And we have one more photograph here. Okay, so this is also a kind of this small johat. Okay, small johat in Laporia village in Rajasthan. See here, water is stored here, and here it is allowed to absorb in the soil. Okay, any question, boys and girls? Yes, any question? Are you clear?
No, sir. Yes.
Okay, then let us continue. In the semi-arid and arid regions of Rajasthan, particularly in Bikaner, Phalodi and Barmer, almost all the houses traditionally had underground tank. Okay, known as tankas. Underground tanks are known as tankas in Rajasthan. Okay, and we have learned that in Rajasthan rainwater harvesting is done. Okay, and not only in Rajasthan, it is also done in Meghalaya also, in Tamil Nadu also, in other some states also. Okay, but particularly in Bikaner, Phalodi and Barmer, this rainwater harvesting is done. Okay, and for drinking and other purposes. Okay, and the tanks, these tankas, known as that is underground tanks, could be as large as a big room. Okay, the size of the tankas may vary, but sometimes the size of the tankas, underground tank, may be as large as a big room. And one household in Phalodi had a tank that was 6.1 meter deep, 4.27 meters long, 2.44 meters wide. So this is a very big tanka. Okay, and the tankas were part of the well-developed rooftop rainwater harvesting system, and were built inside the main house or courtyard. Tankas were part of the rainwater harvesting system, and the tankas, okay, were built inside the main house or in the courtyard. So, for example, here, as I told you, okay, here, for example, this is the house. For example, here we have the house, okay, so this is the house, and this is the house, and these tankas can be kept in the underground here, just below the room, okay, tankas can be there, or just in the courtyard here, just in the courtyard. Here we can keep the tanka, but it is covered, okay, tankas are covered so that there may not be evaporation loss. And these tankas were connected to the sloping roofs of the houses through a pipe, as you have seen here, okay, as you have seen in this diagram on the left side. And the rain falling on the rooftop would travel down the pipe and was stored in these underground tankas. Okay, and the first spell of rain was usually not collected, as this would clean the roofs and the pipe. Actually, when there is first rainfall, the rainwater is dirty because the atmosphere is also dirty or polluted, and the color of the rainwater is black, and that is why we don't collect the rainwater of the first spell. And the rainwater from the subsequent showers was then collected. The first rainfall will clean the pipe, will clean the roof, and after that the subsequent showers from the water from the subsequent rainfall will be collected. Okay, and the rainwater can be stored in the tankas till the next rainfall, making it an extremely reliable source of drinking water when all other sources are dried up. When all the other sources, okay, like water from the this village pond or wells, or from the schools, okay, are dried up, then water from the tankas is the only alternative source of water, source of drinking water. Okay, and just see here how these Rajasthani people collect. See this, just see here. Actually, in this case, rainwater is collected from the neighboring house. So this is the PVC pipe, okay, and they are keeping this tanka here in this area, tanka here in the courtyard, and water is collected, okay, using this PVC pipe. So in this way, these Rajasthani people are collecting this rainwater, okay, and in Rajasthan, okay, in Rajasthan, rainwater is known as Palar Pani, locally known as Palar Pani, and is considered the purest form of natural water. In Rajasthan, rainwater is locally known as Palar Pani and is considered the purest form of natural water. And most houses, or many houses, constructed underground rooms adjoining the tanka to beat summer heat, as it would keep the room cool. As I told you, most of the underground tanks are constructed below the rooms, okay, to beat the summer heat, as these tankas would keep the room cool. So this is another purpose, we can say dual purpose, of constructing tankas under the house. Okay, and this figure number 3.5, actually this is a circular pond, okay, and the water here in the pond is collected using a gool or cool. You know, gool means diversion channels. From the mountainous areas, here from the mountainous areas, rainwater is diverted. I mean the river water, okay, collected from rainwater is diverted through the diversion channels known as gools, and it is collected in this circular pond located in the village. So here in this case, the name of the village is Kaja. And one interesting fact is also given here. See, rooftop rainwater harvesting is the most common practice in Shillong, Meghalaya, as I told you earlier. But you must know that, okay, Cherrapunji and Mawsynram, situated at a distance of 55 kilometers from Shillong, received the highest rainfall in the world. That we have discussed in class 9 also. Mawsynram, Cherrapunji receives the highest rainfall in the world, more than 1,100 centimeters in a year. However, this Shillong is only about 55 kilometers away from Mawsynram, yet this state capital of Meghalaya, Shillong, faces acute shortage of water. Okay, nearly every household in the city has a rooftop rainwater harvesting structure. So in Meghalaya, Shillong, that is Shillong, in Shillong, this every household has a rooftop rainwater harvesting structure, as in Rajasthan. Nearly 15 to 25% of total water requirement of the household comes from the rooftop rainwater harvesting. Okay, and again we have one more information. See here, Tamil Nadu is the first state in India which has made rooftop rainwater harvesting structure compulsory to all the houses across the state. And there are legal provisions to punish the defaulters. If there is no rainwater harvesting structure in a house, then the government may punish that particular household members if they don't have this rainwater harvesting structure in their house. That means this construction of rainwater harvesting structure is compulsory, okay, in the state of Tamil Nadu. They have legal provisions. Okay, so let us continue. Today in western Rajasthan, sadly, the practice of rooftop rainwater harvesting is on the decline as plenty of water is available due to the perennial Indira Gandhi Canal. Actually, in the western part of Rajasthan, okay, Indira Gandhi Canal has been constructed, and from that canal, people get enough water for different purposes, and that is why rooftop rainwater harvesting is on the decline. Okay, though some houses still maintain the tankas since they do not like taste of tap water. Still, some of the households do not want to use the tap water, and that is why in some houses these tankas are still used in Rajasthan. Okay, then fortunately in many parts of rural and the urban areas in India, rooftop rainwater harvesting is being successfully adapted to store and conserve water. Not only in Rajasthan, then Meghalaya, in Tamil Nadu, in other states of India, here including Manipur also, we are practicing this rooftop rainwater harvesting successfully to store and conserve water. Okay, and we have one example that in Gandathur, a remote backward village in Mysuru in Karnataka. Okay, villagers have installed in their households rooftop rainwater harvesting system to meet their water needs. Nearly 200 households have installed this system, that is a rainwater harvesting system, and the village has earned the rare distinction of being rich in rainwater. That means Gandathur is rich, okay, in rainwater, because almost all the houses are collecting rainwater, are harvesting rainwater. Okay, say in Gandathur, Gandathur receives an annual precipitation of 1000 millimeter, that is 100 centimeters. Gandathur is receiving annual rainfall of 100 centimeters, and with 80% of collection efficiency, okay, about 10 fillings, every household can collect and use about 50,000 liters of water annually. See, Gandathur receives 100 centimeters of rainfall per year, and with 80% efficiency of collection of rainwater, a household can collect and use 50,000 liters of water in a year, okay, from the rainfall. That means from 200 houses in Gandathur, the net amount of rainwater harvested annually amounts to 1 lakh liters. So in this way, in Gandatur village of Mysuru in Karnataka, rainwater harvesting is practiced successfully and has earned a distinct reputation. Okay. Any question, boys and girls? Are you clear? Boys and girls?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Then see, this is the last part. Here in this Meghalaya, okay, there is a system called bamboo drip irrigation system. Not only in Meghalaya, here in the hills of Manipur also we find this bamboo drip irrigation system. Just see the photograph on the right side. Okay, just see here. Here, this figure number 1. Bamboo pipes are used to divert perennial springs on the hilltops to the lower reaches by gravity. See, in Meghalaya, a 200-year-old system of tapping stream and spring water by using bamboo pipes is prevalent. About 18 to 20 liters of water enters the bamboo pipe system and get transported over 100 meters. And finally, actually, when it reaches its destination, okay, reduces to 20 to 80 drops per minute at the site of the plant, at the site of the field. That means here there will be a lot of leakages, okay, as you see here. Just see the photograph. This is the number 1. Then here, this is the number 2. Here in picture 2 in the 3, the channel sections made of bamboo divert water to plant site where it is distributed into branches, as you are seeing here, okay. Just seeing here. Again, made and laid out with different forms of bamboo pipes. The flow of water into the pipe is controlled by manipulating the pipe positions. Just see here, this picture number 4. Also, it is carried. If the pipes pass a rod, then they are taken high above the lane, as you are seeing here. Okay. And here in picture number 5 and 6, reduced channel sections and the diversion units are used at the last stage of water application. The last channel section enables water to be dropped near the roots of the plant. This is known as bamboo drip irrigation. Actually, here in Manipur, we may use for growing crops. Not only that one, we also used to transport this water, okay, using bamboo pipe for drinking other purposes. But nowadays, instead of bamboo pipes, government has also provided polythene pipes, and we are using it. Just see here, this is the spring side, okay, and from the spring water is collected, and it is carried down, and again it is transported, and here bifurcation is there. This is the main, and here this is the another branch. And whenever there is a rod or whenever there is a terrain, okay, a low-lying area, it is carried overhead here. It is carried overhead. Then again, here again you are seeing the bamboo pipe is here, and finally it has reached the plant site, okay, agriculture field. And here, drop by drop, the field is irrigated. And this is what we call bamboo drip irrigation, okay, bamboo drip irrigation system. In the modern agricultural system, in the plain areas, in the other developed countries, instead of this, we are using the steel pipe, GI pipes, and other, okay, metal pipes for the drip irrigation. Okay, any question, boys and girls? Are you clear? Okay, if you don't have questions, okay, let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.
Thank you.